we're going to see how we do. Let's do it. Round 1. Hey, George Amani. How's it going? Starting off with some blue-white control because I've had the most luck with it. After this, I've got some jankier decks I'm going to play that should be pretty sweet. We're going to start with a league here. Thank you, sir. Alright, Ancestral Vision's ticking down. We play a Flooded Strand and pass the turn. We turn on Logic Knot for 1. Opponent Izzet Charms to Looting. I'm actually going to counter this. This way we can prevent them from dumping a bunch of Phoenixes in the grave and maybe set up Path Snap Path soon. Alright, opponent plays a Drake. Ancestral Vision still ticking down. Well, let's play an island. We'll path the Drake now. I feel like it's in our best interest to answer as many threats from our opponent as possible, as early as possible. They get a mountain. Opponent casts a Thing in the Ice. Serum Visions with Thing in the Ice. Takes a counter off it. Opponent goes and scries. Also, sorry for not streaming earlier. I had a lot of things I needed to tend to today that were rather important to me, so I meant to stream around 2. Didn't actually get home until very recently, and then of course had to eat dinner. Alright, Ancestral Vision's still ticking down. Play a Field of Ruin. Go ahead and main phase opt here. We will keep the land so we can play Teferi next turn. And I'm going to go ahead and Snapcaster Path now while they don't have any potential counter mana for it. We're doing a lot of main phase things, but we have shut our opponent's game plan down pretty hard this early. And if our opponent doesn't play any major threats and doesn't answer Snapcaster, we'll just pass and hold up Cryptic until it's relevant. Alright, opponent starts Manamorphose. They're going for it. Ooh, second Manamorphose. Getting explosive. Red-blue. Four mana. Are they casting a Phoenix? They're casting a Phoenix. Alright. Well, we'll take 3, go to 14. Ancestral Visions, coming off Suspend. Target ourselves. We have a Negate, and a Terminus, and a Nimble Obstructionist. Alright. Well, let's play Teferi. And plus Teferi, hold up Negate. Ooh, search for Iskanta. That will be useful soon. Let's get in for 2. Take him down to 17. Untap Hallowed Fountain and Glacial Fortress. Opponent will need at least 2 bolts or a heavy Phoenix turn in order to kill Teferi and get him off the board. Opponent Monastery Swiftspear. Alright. I haven't seen this deck run Swiftspear yet, so this is news to me. Opponent gets in. Puts it all on Teferi. Had I known that they were going to run Swiftspear, I would have left Snapcaster back to block. But we didn't know they were on the Swiftspear plan. So they bolt our Snapcaster, kill Teferi. Kind of an unfortunate set of circumstances for us. We untap, we draw an island. Perfect. So play Search for Azcanta, hold up Cryptic Command, pass the turn. Opponent opts, draws a card. Prowess trigger for Monastery Swiftspear here. Alright, beginning of combat. Let's go ahead and just tap and draw. Prevent 5 damage here. We draw Jace. Oh man, if we can get like an opt off the top. Opponent bolts our face. Interesting. Well, they don't have the bolt for Jace. Bedlam Reveler. They might have the bolt for Jace now. Opponent discards a Phoenix. Alright, give me a cantrip, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Azcanta flips so you can use Nimble. We would be 1 mana short. No, we wouldn't. You're right. Thanks. Good catch. Good catch, George Monty. Mill Snapcaster Mage, transform as Kanta. Alright, play Field of Ruin. Play Jace. Brainstorm with Jace. Put back Terminus. Terminus. Pass the turn. This way we can even hold up Negate. We can Hieroglyphic Illumination, Miracle Terminus, hold up Negate. Life seems good. Good catch there. I would not have seen that. Alright. Opponent goes to beginning of combat. Let's cycle Hieroglyphic. I'm really glad that I started running this in the Battle of Wits list too, just for stuff like this. Miracle Terminus. Make our opponent sad. So good. So good. Alright. Terminus it all away. Opponent goes to their second main phase. Casts a Thing in the Ice. Okay. Hi, Midnight Pearl. Get the second Terminus. Deal with the Thing in the Ice. Let's play Teferi. Plus Teferi. Plus Jace. Play Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Pass the turn. Untap, untap. Can't even Izzet Charm it. Yeah. Alright, opponent starts Manamorphose. Opts. And concedes. Wow. Wow. Just sad. Super sad for them. Alright, well, we have quite a lot of cards for this matchup. I'm actually going to cut one Jace because Bolt makes Jace way worse. Nimble Obstructionist is probably, like, could be really good. That Opt gave 2 lands. You think so? They just like, darn, just scooped it up. I think, no, we need the Terminus. Yeah, trimming 1 Teferi sounds pretty reasonable here. They don't have a way to interact with Detention Sphere once it's on board, so I'm really tempted to keep it. I think that one's going to be fine. Our counter spells are not as good, I feel like. I think Oust is also... Actually, Oust might be better than Path, now that I think about it. I think Cryptic Command is like our most easily countered spell. Oops, clicked in the wrong spot. Our most easily countered spell. Maybe we trim... Nah, I can't trim Snapcaster. It's going to be... I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good. Let's cut 1 Illumination, 1 Logic Knot, and an Opt. When you hear Teferi, you think of Pokemon. Sounds like the fairy. Alright, well this is a fairly decent hand. We're holding 2 Terminus, so this is basically a mulligan to 5, but every other card in our hand is a card that I want, so I'm going to keep this. And in the event we draw our 1 Jace left in the deck, we will win the game pretty much automatically. Clefairy! Oh, Clefairy! How could I forget Clefairy? I love that Pokemon. Metronome is such a fun ability. Alright, well let's play a Flooded Strand just in case we got to fetch up for a Path. Also, welcome new viewers to the stream. Good to see everybody here. Alright, well let's fetch a Hallowed Fountain. If we Miracle a Terminus, we Miracle a Terminus. We don't. But we do get a Rest in Peace. I'm going to Path and then Colonnade. I feel like our opponent's going to be Threat Light, and if they spend next turn dumping a bunch of spells into the grave or dumping Arclight Phoenixes into the grave, Rest in Peace is really going to screw them up for, what do you call it? Bedlam Reveler is the card I'm looking for. How was the workout today? I actually did not work out today. I had a bunch of people who needed help with finals. It's kind of like finals time for them, so I've been helping them out all day. That's why I wasn't streaming earlier. Joe West, you oh shoot! I haven't updated the deck list. One moment. Oh gosh. Oh, it's so important right now. Stream Decker, save me. Okay, set as current. All right, cool, done. What'd you do today, Joe West? I'm eager to hear what you did. All right, we got a Surgical Extraction. All right. I think just to shut him off now while we can, we're going to Rest in Peace. And in response, we're going to Surgical Bolt. They had a Lightning Bolt in hand. Oh, it feels good. So glad to see you playing this list. It's what I'm playing, and I'm not sure if I want to tweak it. Do you mean the Is It Phoenix deck or the Azorius control list? Miracle that Terminus. They cannot Is It Charm this. Oh, Blue-White Miracles? Yeah, I actually really like this list. It has been crazy, crazy good. I've actually 3-2'd a couple of leagues and probably should have 5-0'd if I'd played better, but it was like late at night. I definitely think that this particular blue-white control list that has been showing up recently is like crazy good. Alright, opponent's passing. We're going to Field of Ruin just to kind of get more lands out of our deck. Pick up another island. Hey! Thanks, Kocharg, for following. You're a wonderful human being. Always glad to have new people joining in on the fun. Well, play another Field of Ruin. We'll pass. I went 1-1-1 with Blue-White Miracles last night, but still profited $35 in credit. Oh, that's excellent to hear. I'm really glad to hear that. And not too much, just drinking a little bit and streaming some Modern. Dunking on some people with Blue-White Miracles right now. We got some jankier decks that we're going to play a little later if we have time. Some stuff should be a lot of fun. So we'll see. Snapcaster isn't going to block anything our opponent plays, so we're just going to play it. Opponent doesn't have any bolts now. No, I have not been apprised of anything happening with the SCG tournament, so what did I miss? Let's get in for 2. Take our opponent down to 13, pass the turn. Opponent, interestingly enough, is playing Monastery Swiftspear, so we might pay for this later. Kind of surprised our opponent hasn't Izzet Charmed us yet. Ooh, timely, 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 timely. First place Izzet Phoenix, second place Mono Red Phoenix. Oh gosh, that seems awful. I'm sorry. Alright, well we're going to fire off this Timely Reinforcements. Our opponent has to have a Mana Leak or at least a second Izzet Charm, which they can't cast because they only have one red. Swiftspear's been all over this deck lately. Man, what did I miss in like the last 3 days? I've been like totally unaware of the situation. Not staying up to date. Been focused on some other things recently. Opponent goes red, opts. Well, I mean, it seems fair. It kind of adds to their game plan and probably makes their most explosive draw even more explosive. Because if you're trying to cast 3 spells on turn 2 after dumping 6 cards into the grave, like, you might as well attack with a 4/5. Right now I'm drinking Mountain Dew and vodka. So, college. College is the beverage. We untap. Ancestral Vision's ticking down. We draw Path. Path's good here. We might Path our own Snapcaster in response to removal. We'll attack, take our opponent to 9. Alright, pass the turn. See what our opponent does. Opponent plays a Serum Visions. Yeah, it's pretty sweet when you can turn off the graveyard entirely and turn Bedlam Reveler into an 8-mana 3/4. Like, it makes people sad. Opponent plays an Arclight Phoenix. Opponent attacks for 3. Well, nuke the Phoenix. Kind of hoping we draw another land to turn on Colonnade and make the clock really short. Hey! Sometimes you just get what you ask for. Fire up the Colonnade. Get in for 6. And opponent scoops it up. They've seen enough. Well, we're 1-0. I'm tapping 8 mana, plays Bedlam Reveler. I actually, the other day, on stream was playing Izzet Phoenix, and that happened to us. And we recast the same Bedlam Reveler versus Control like 4 times. And we got to the point where we only had like 10 spells left in our deck and just couldn't win. It was horrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody except all the people who play that deck. So, we'll start Colonnade, pass the turn. There's a handful of lands and spells, is all you can ask. Opponent starts Bloodstained Mire. Looks like it might be Jund. Blood Crypt. There's the Thoughtseize. Fetch Shock Thoughtseize. Could be Grixis Death Shadow if they're losing life this fast. You might want to... Oh, gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am not paying attention. There we go. All right, opponent thought seizes away Snapcaster. We play a Field of Ruin and pass the turn. Opponent loots faithlessly. Maybe this is Hollow One? Hollow One with main deck thought seizes? Tamer Battle Rage, Fatal Push. It's definitely Grixis Death Shadow. Opponent thought seize again. Alright, probably takes thought seize. Or probably thought seizes path, I mean. Ugh, I'm getting caught up on my own words here. I really look like I belong in an 80s movie Bowling, don't I? I like even sort of like have a mullet thing going on. Oh, jeez. Opponent having a tough time figuring this one out. To be honest, like, Thoughtseize against the guy with 3 cantrips and going to take a little time. One thing is I do run 2 Surgicals main and no one sees it coming. I will say, Surgical Snap Surgical is like one of the most evil things you can do to an opponent, especially because the first one lets you see their hand, and then you get to pick the next one. I look like the villain from a Tarantino movie, or Joe Dirt's best friend. Alright, you guys are great. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Love the bants. Alright, Logic Knot to the bottom. We can't cast it. We draw Snapcaster. Untap. And draw another path. Well, we got to try and hit a land. There's a land, so we draw it. Play the land. Pass the turn. Turns on timely. Oh my god, meanies. Alright, the villain from a Tarantino movie is like not... that's not an insult. That's an honor. Like, if Quentin Tarantino was like, you need to star in my movie as the villain, I'd be like, hell yes, I do. Also, I think you're gonna get an Amarilla Cream. Seems good. Sounds good. Seeing you drink, I think I'll get a Xanax. Well, to each their own. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna try and fire off this path bluff that I've drawn a counterspell. It works. Suspend Ancestral Visions. Quick, Kano, pretend you're good at this game. Oh, they saw right through the charade. Does he look like a bee? Does he look like a bee? It's like when you swear, but you have to catch yourself. Because there's like children around or old relatives. Opponent's having trouble finding another threat. Ancestral Visions is ticking down. We draw Colonnade, which is pretty good. Pretty good for us right now. We need lands. Come on, opponent. I believe in you. All right. Looks like opponent's delving out a big threat, or was going to. Cycles the Street Wraith first, decides that 9 life is the life total they want to be at. Delves a bunch of stuff away, probably plays a Gurmag Angler. Kano, what type of chair are you in? Is it comfy, and what is the weight limit? It's an Asus something or other. I don't know if it's... I don't know what the weight limit is, but it holds me, which means it holds at least 250 pounds. I think it's comfortable. I actually got this chair for free because somebody that I knew got shipped 2 of the chair. They ordered one, got shipped 2 over Amazon, and was like, hey, want a free chair? I'm not postmarking this to send it back. I was like, hell yeah! 250 pounds of muscles. That is accurate. I have a little bit of a gut, but it's only there. Looking forward to breaking 500 on my deadlift soon. Gonna be sweet! Alright, so we're going to snap path first. 6'5" and around 300. Well, you're in the same size classification as I am for most wrestling and football. So, it ought to hold you. Opponent has Stubborn Denial number 1. We untap. Ancestral Vision's taken down. We draw Cryptic Command. Yeah, we attempt to fire off path number 2. And it works. Alright, well, get in for 2. Opponent has the Fatal Push. Seems reasonable. Opponent fetches and finds a Blood Crypt tapped. Well, we're going to Field of Ruin the blue source to prevent them from ever having double Stubborn Denial ever again. Get an island to make sure that we can stay on the Cryptic Command plan in case of land destruction. Not that I think this deck runs land destruction. Oh, look, they're going to turn on our timely reinforcements for us. Isn't that great, everybody? We're going to get some dudes. Opponent plays a Tasigur. Ancestral Visions still ticking down. Longest Ancestral Visions in history. Play a Flooded Strand. I think we're just going to hold up Cryptic Command here. Opponent did not attack. They are afraid of something. I don't know what, but they are afraid of something. Well, let's counter and bounce. This feels like a really mean thing to do to our opponent. They're not going to have, like, they're going to have to, like, tap out to recast this Tasigur. Opponent gives up. They've seen enough. Ancestral Visions is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Alright, well, let's Disdainful Stroke. Nimble Obstructionist is really good. If you stifle a fetch land of theirs, it's probably game over. Simply because they're trying to aggro us down, we're going to bring in Timely. Actually, Timely isn't that great versus them, I don't think. Because they're going to they are running Tamer Battle Rage. They'll probably kill us in one shot. They are pretty threat light, so Surgical on a threat is not bad. And Terminus is the card I want to cast the most. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop Negate, drop a Terminus. No, excuse me, drop a Teferi. I've changed my mind about the Angels. We're going to drop a Cryptic. We're going to, oh, Dispel's probably a good idea. Drop an Opt for Dispel. Change my mind about Disdainful Stroke. We're going to drop Hieroglyphic Illuminations, too, for the other Dispel. And I think we're going to try firing it back like that. Also, welcome new viewers to the stream. If you're just tuning in, we are 1-0 and in round 2, having won game 1. I think this is fine, if not a little awkward. We can Surgical a bunch of cards if they... that is, if they don't take it with a Thoughtseize. Opponent Inquisitions has the option of Surgical, Snapcaster, or Logic Knot. I'm pretty sure they take Snapcaster. We can't cast like anything else at the moment, effectively. Opponent takes the Snapcaster Mage. We untap. We draw Search for Iskanta. That's actually super good. Because we drew Search and I'd really like to resolve it, I'm actually going to Surgical Inquisition at my opponent's draw step, see if we can't nab a couple out of their hand. They are holding Shadow, Shadow, 3 lands, and a Snapcaster. And they only have 2 surgicals. What other threats do they... Or 2... not surgicals. 2 Inquisitions in their deck, is what I'm trying to say. They have a number of other threats, but we really... Oh, man, if we could, like, Snapcaster a Surgical this game... Oh, man. That would do things to my body that I wouldn't comment on stream about. Alright. So we draw Hieroglyphic Illumination and play a Search for Azcanta. Pass the turn. Opponent fetches and shocks in a Blood Crypt. Search for Azcanta resolves. Hopefully this can find us another blue source. That would be pretty fantastic. Opponent fetches with Polluted Delta, finally turns on Death Shadow, plays Shadow number 1, plays Shadow number 2. Alright, well, lands for Verdict can't come fast enough, but we will keep Path to Exile. Path 1. Cycle Hieroglyphic, draw an Opt. Unfortunately, we did not get a land. That's actually super bad. I want your drink. All I have is beer and wine, and I'm not in the mood for either. Well, I'm sorry you can't have it. If I could email booze, I would sell the ability and make a fortune. Opponent minuses on Liliana the Last Hope. Cycle Street Wraith, trying to set up a fast and effective clock. Plays a Bloodstained Mire, fetches. Oh, are we getting Battle Raged? If they have Battle Rage, we die. We go to 9. Alright, well, we gotta draw an answer this turn. Search for Azcanta. Well, Path technically is an answer. So we'll draw Path. Fire it off now, there's no reason to wait. Whew! Alright, resolves. Opt for a land. Teferi is the opposite of a land. Draw Dispel. Alright, well, at the very least, we can turn on Search for Azcanta into a land next turn. And then if we draw a land, we'll have mana for Verdict if our opponent resolves a threat, and they can't actually deal with that. We need to get to 5 mana as fast as possible so we can Teferi and tuck this Liliana. Hopefully after a Terminus or the Supreme Verdict, so the board is clear. We're cut off again? Mana-wise? Alright. Well, our opponent is like starting to at least lose a few threats. We pathed 2 shadows thus far. Oh! Why does it keep doing that? I keep adjusting it, and it still doesn't stay. Opponent Snapcaster's Kolaghan's Command. Shoots us and makes us discard a card. Well, I think we got to pitch Teferi, in all honesty. Opponent plays a Blood Crypt, we untap, search for Azcanta. We're not going to mill the island because we did draw a, or we did have to discard a card. Alright, pass the turn. Unfortunately, we do not have another white source yet. Too bad we're not playing Jeskai Control, or we could just bolt our opponent to death. Opponent gets in for 2, takes us to 5. Alright, well, activate Azcanta. Pick up a Terminus. A rather useless Terminus. Kind of hoping for either a Timely Reinforcements or... Looks like we're getting K-commanded again. Surgical's Path. Joke's on you, opponent. I'm not holding any more paths. That's the true internal battle I'm facing, blue-white or Jeskai. I think, in the gradual sense, blue-white is a better deck. Jeskai, I think, is more expensive on top of that. But they do play very differently. Oust. Well, oust the Snapcaster, because we got to stop the bleeding. Also, welcome new viewers to the stream. Good to see you all. I'm Kano, tipsy, in Modern, playing Blue-White Control. Game 2 of round 2. We're up a game and up a round. Opponent. Gonna Snapcaster Mage. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and Logic Knot this. Kano drunk is the same as Kano sober. That was the purpose of this stream, was to determine the difference. Is it really not that obvious? Can nobody else tell when I'm drunk or sober? Opponent's last card was Snapcaster for the Surgical. Going to Surgical... I don't know what they're going to Surgical, actually. Surgical's Logic Knot. Alright, well, our opponent can take our one other Logic Knot in the deck. We don't care about that. I think you misplay more when I'm drunk, but not positive. Maybe... Alright. So what we need to do is we need to set up the punt bot, the one that like measures how many times per hour you punt. And we need to run a scientific experiment. Across a 5-hour stream on one Sunday, sober, we count how many times I punt, and across another Sunday, drunk, blitzed drunk, we set up how many punts per hour and we measure one versus the other. I'm a scientist and an engineer, and I see nothing wrong with this. Alright, well, play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Maybe we survive a turn. Maybe. And if we do, we might be able to Wrath. It's because we are distractful, if that's a word. Potentially. I understood its meaning, and therefore you succeeded in English. You are, congratulation, welcome. Opponent, Snapcasters. And we die. Kano's level of drunk can be measured on the scale of 1 to Storm. We can't handle Storm. Tell you what, we need to brew an Eye of the Storm Modern deck and see what happens. Alright, that time we had trouble drawing lands, so I kind of want to, like, I know it's results-oriented, but I'm putting the opt back in. And I think I'm going to cut, maybe another Cryptic, and try like that. Kind of lower the curve a little bit. Oh, I would love to play first. Yes, please, and thank you. Perfect hand, let's keep. That is if I can click keep. Holy crap. What causes the screen cut off? Because, I mean, obviously it keeps happening. It's me doing it? I'm doing it? Oh, am I adjusting it in between rounds unconsciously? Because that would explain it a lot. Alright, play a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Gosh, I need to stop adjusting then. Okay, opponent's not doing anything on their upkeep or draw. Plays a Bloodstained Mire, cracks a Bloodstained Mire, finds a Watery Grave, shocks, and Thoughtseize. Well, let's see what they take. I think our opponent either takes Logic Knot or Nimble Obstructionist. They take the Knot. We fetch up a Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass the turn. Draw Colonnade. We'll play Colonnade. We don't have any other 2-drops. Our opponent knows it. Unfortunately, this reveals what we drew to our opponent. So we kind of give away some free information there. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire. Cracks it on their turn. They know about the Nimble Obstructionist. Shocks in a Blood Crypt and goes to 12. Plays Death Shadow and passes the turn. Well, we play an Island. Pass the turn. Hold up Nimble Obstructionist. Opponent Thought Scours themselves. This deck needs at least 4 lands, it seems. I think so. Please fetch that Bloodstained Mire. I will snap off this Obstructionist so fast. When it gets in for 1, we take it. Snap off the Obstructionist as an uncounterable Stifle. Deny our opponent a land and draw a card. We draw an Opt. Useful. Opponent does not have another land to play. More is better, but at least 4 stabilizes. Yes and no. We don't want to draw too many lands, though. I'm tempted to fire off Verdict here, but I think that's the safest plan. Yeah, let's do it. We'll go the safe route this game. Blow up the board. See what our opponent does. Plays a Scalding Tarn, passes, does not have another threat. We draw an Oust. That's useful. We'll play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. I can stabilize, but drawing it is a miracle. I know, right? Opponent fetches up a Blood Crypt, tapped, decides they want to stem the flow of blood from their own hemorrhaging face. Oh yeah, you forgot a 1 in your array of exclamation points there. Opponent plays a Steam Vents, untapped. Well, wait till end step and Opt. Draw a Dispel. I think we're going to get K commanded, so that's going to be useful. Draw Path. Play an Island. Pass the turn. They almost certainly would have a push if we fired up this Colonnade. Opponent Snapcaster Mage. 1 can stabilize. Oh, that's true. I get it. 1 for miracling that Terminus. Opponent Thought Scours themselves. Yeah, we'll let that go. But I think I'm going to fire off this Path now. Opponent gets an Island. Seems good. Opponent plays a Swamp. Passes turn. We untap. We draw Jace. Well, let's play Jace. Opponent's tapping a bunch of mana. Opponent's deck is based on 1 creature to win. Yeah, have you not... our opponent, like, the whole plan is to play Death Shadow or play other, like, big delve threats for 1 black mana, and then hold up Stubborn Denial and support it with Thoughtseize. Opponent has a Stubborn Denial. Well, we will pay for Stubborn Denial. So I don't know why they Stubborn Denial Dispel there when they could have Stubborn Denial Jace. We pitch an Oust, play Jace, Brainstorm. They put back Snapcaster. Was it Snapcaster Mage to their hand? It was. Alright. Let's see. Have we played any lands this turn? We have not. So we put back Detention Sphere and Terminus on top. Play Glacial Fortress. Pass the turn. Gonna have a Surgical for whatever our opponent decides to Snapcaster Mage here. Provided, of course, that's what they do. Opponent has a Dreadbore. Well, gonna have to let him get away with that one. Opponent Kolaghan's Command, making us discard and returning a creature. Well, Surgical Death Shadow. Unfortunately, they're not holding anymore. They are holding a land and a Snapcaster Mage. Opponent makes us discard with an empty hand. We will not reveal Terminus. We will, in fact, fire up Colonnade. Get in for half of our opponent's life total. Opponent does have Snapcaster for Fatal Push now, so as long as they have that mana available, we cannot fire up Colonnade again. Opponent casts a Gurmag Angler. Hand is still Snapcaster Scalding Tarn. We draw Detention Sphere. Well, let's cast Terminus to answer the Angler. If our opponent wants to Snapcaster for Stubborn Denial this turn, we, yeah, 1 mana 5/5 is pretty good. If our opponent wants to Snapcaster Stubborn Denial this turn, that means they would have to draw Fatal Push to stop themselves from dying. So the instant we get a hard counter that we can cast in addition to firing up Colonnade is the instant we win the game. So we're going to opt. Colonnade to the top. Fire up Colonnade. When you make up a common card and it ends up being God tier, you know, I'm actually I'm glad that I would rather common and uncommon cards be the playable cards because then they're affordable for people to play, as opposed to like only the chase mythics are playable. Like I think threats. Opponent gives up. They've drawn only lands. Well, we're 2-0. I think it's fine for threats to be mythic tier. Like you can have the like Aetherlings or the Delver of Secrets. Like I'm fine with those being mythic rare, as long as things like if Fatal Push, Dreadbore, Kolaghan's Command, if those things are like closer to common. I would rather have answers be common and threats be mythic, because that way everybody could at least play the all kill spells deck. I know that's not how the game works, but that's how I would prefer it to work. But I am glad that common cards see like Eternal format play. I'm glad that Magic hasn't gone the way of, well, you can't play the game unless you play 75 mythic rares deck. But all right, round 3. We are currently undefeated. Well, I mean, we lost a game, but in rounds we were undefeated. I would love to play first. Yeah, but those are design mistakes? Not all of them. I mean, you could argue some of them, but not all of them. We need white mana. Perfect. An involved white mana. We're going to keep this. Yeah, we'll keep Jace. We do need something to do with this hand, and Jace, at least on turn 4, will let us like kind of reset our hand. Opponent starts Botanical Sanctum. This is probably Spirits. Alright, well, play an island, pass the turn. Opponent ticking up on Aether Vial. Sets it to 1. Did they keep the Aether Vial no extra land hand? Because this Detention Sphere will make them really sad if they did. Although you could see it making some sense in the limited format. Yeah, I think the design that I was talking about, how I would prefer it to make more sense in limited format. Okay, now I see what you're saying. Yeah, Treasure Cruise is like sort of concentrate at the cost of giving up your graveyard, so it costs like 4-ish mana for 3 cards in limited. But like in Eternal formats, it was just like, oh man, Sorcery Speed Ancestral Recall seems great on turn 3. Like, I was playing Modern during that period of time. I was a strictly ad nauseum player when Treasure Cruise got printed. And literally, when I remember playing, and literally every deck you would run into was just Delver. It was just, like, cast as many spells as possible, draw as many spells as possible for 1 mana, and then just Snapcaster and do it again. It's just like, it was horrendous to have to play against. Alright, opponent did have another land. Plays a Noble Hierarch. Seems reasonable. Alright, well, we'll opt. We'll keep opt. Opt again. To ferry to the bottom. Oh, draw on Terminus isn't great, but we are holding a Jace, so we might get there. Play an island. Cast Detention Sphere. Thankfully, they can't Mausoleum Wanderer the enchantment. So we'll hit Aether Vial. Opponent going to Vial in a 1-drop. There's the Wanderer we were scared of. Opponent fetches up a Temple Garden tapped, and we take their Aether Vial from them. Good news is we'll be able to set up a Terminus, and hopefully they won't be able to Wanderer it. They get in for 2. We take 2, go to 18. We untap, draw Flooded Strand. Well, play Field of Ruin. Play Jace. Opponent's going to Spell Queller Jace. Opponent Spell Queller's Jace. Well, if we make it to 6 mana and can Terminus uncontested, or we can Snapcaster and opt into Terminus, we're going to get a Jace the Mind Sculptor for free. And that's pretty much what this game is going to come down to at this point. Opponent plays Mausoleum Wanderer number 2. Going to make it hard for us to resolve spells. Please let me Miracle of Terminus blind off the top. It is not. I paid for it already? I guess technically, yeah. If you want to think about it that way. Play a Flooded Strand. See what our opponent does. Opponent casts a Supreme Phantom. Well, with the Mausoleum Wanderer triggers on the stack, we are going to Snapcaster for opt. Okay, Snapcaster trigger resolves. Cast opt. Draw path. Attempt to path, Spell Queller. Opponent might just let this resolve. That would actually be pretty reasonable of them. Alright, opponent decides to sack to counter. Nothing we can do about that. Can't pay for it. But we did remove some of the damage from the board. Opponent going to get in for 6. Take it and go to 8. Well, I'm going to fetch up a Hallowed Fountain. We untap, draw Hieroglyphic Illumination. Well, they're going to be able to sack to counter, but we have to do something here. And just cycling Hieroglyphic Illumination is not going to be enough at this point. I didn't read the board state. Well, attempt to fire this off, see what happens. They sack Mausoleum Wanderer to counter. We can't pay for it. And we get 2 draws at a Supreme Verdict, or we get 1 draw at a Supreme Verdict and 2 draws for a Terminus. Opponent gets in for 4. We take it, go to 3. Alright, Terminus, off the top. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand. We do not draw a Terminus. Suspend Ancestral Visions. Pass the turn. I see why this is popular now. Yeah, it's kind of like Merfolk, but better. Opponent fetches with Flooded Strand. Finds a Breeding Pool. Tapped. Untaps. Opponent plays a Drogskull Captain. Gets in. Well, at this point, we can still hit Path as a potential win. So we're going to full price this one. And we scoop it up. Yeah, like when you have Lords that give your whole team hexproof and you can vial in Phantasmal Image on the Lord to give the other Lord hexproof, it's pretty good. So we bring in Settle the Wreckage, and I think we bring in the Angels for this one, just because they're threats that our opponent might have a tough time swinging through. We're going to drop Negate, and I think Nimble Obstructionist and a Cryptic. Try it. Well, keep Nimble Obstructionist. I actually think we're going to drop 2 Cryptics. Try it like this. I would bring in Timely Reinforce. I actually think that Nimble Obstructionist is better than Timely, but too late. Timely Reinforcements is actually awful versus this deck because our opponent's deck will like never, ever, 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 ever. We'll never get a chance to block is what I'm trying to say. Opponent mulligans to 5, which is pretty good for our odds. We pass. After playing a Flooded Strand, opponent's turn. Breeding Pool tapped. Well, fetch up a Hallowed Fountain. Pass back to our turn. We draw a Hallowed Fountain. Play Ghost Quarter. Pass turn. Hold a Mana Leak. Opponent plays a Plains. Attempts to land a Supreme Phantom, and we leak it. Untap. Draw Teferi. We'll shock in a Hallowed Fountain. Kind of want to fire off 2 ops this turn if I can. Opponent plays a Windswept Heath. Well, opt number 1. We will draw Settle. Opt number 2. Kind of need a land now. Jace to the bottom. Draw Logic Knot. Untap, draw land, play a land. Perfect. Never, didn't, always have it. Opponent fetches with Windswept Heath. finds Hallowed Fountain. Shocks. Are they going to land a tempo spell queller? They are. Well, we'll let them have that one. Opponent, gonna get in for 2. We'll take it. Plays a Temple Garden tapped, and we'll opt at the end step. We'll keep a path. Go ahead and attempt to path spell queller now. Opponent has the second spell queller. Well, we untap, play a Field of Ruin, and make our opponent's day and life miserable. We land Teferi, tuck spell queller, recast path, kill the other queller, and now we have a resolve Teferi on board when our opponent is tapped out and has no threats. Good luck. Opponent plays a Thalia, plays a Supreme Phantom, we untap, we draw Timely Reinforcements. Alright, well, we'll pass, just attempt to settle the wreckage. Opponent goes to combat. Gets in, gets in. Well, unless they have the third spell queller, we're probably good to go here. Answer opponent's board. They get a basic. They are now out of basics. Opponent plays a Geist of Saint Win the game. We draw a card. We draw an Oust. It's kind of unfortunate for us. I guess let's start running them out of lands? We'll get an island. Blow up Breeding Pool. Alright, now if we Hieroglyphic Illumination into a Terminus, we know the magic gods are on our side. Untap our lands. Opponent goes to attacks. Oh shoot, I did the thing again. I did it again! You guys gotta yell at me. I did it again. Opponent attacks us and Teferi. Well, cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination. Terminus? Oh! Oh, top deck like a god! Terminus. With Wrath, or with Logic Knot backup. Opponent Unified Will. Well, opponent doesn't have any more blue mana. So we Logic Knot for 4. Whoo! And they scoop it up. Cannot handle the amount of destruction we just dished out. Also, we totally 100% deserved that win. Our opponent in no way influenced it, even by mulliganing to 5. Oh gosh. Alright. They did not really quit. I don't think so. Not with a resolve Teferi. We're not taking any shots this stream, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on who you are. Opponent kept 7. This hand's too slow, and we need the ability to top deck Termini. This seems good, though, so we'll keep this one. Terminus to the bottom. Kind of makes me a little sad, but we can't turn 0 Miracle. Opponent starts Misty. Fetches. Finds. Breeding Pool. Plays a Wanderer. We untap. We draw. Play a Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. See what our opponent does. They play a Misty. They fetch. They find. Hallowed Fountain. Probably going to play a Thalia here. Ooh, Supreme Phantom. Well, they lord up the Wanderer. Get in for 3. We're going to path this Phantom. Opponent lets it go. They want the land. Gets an island. We take 2, untap. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent. Plays a Flooded Strand. Plays a Geist of St. Traft. Pumps the Wanderer. Gets in 4-2. We'll opt. Draw that Terminus. Make them crack the Wanderer. Fill our graveyard. Opponent counters. We can't pay for it. We draw Baneslayer. Well, pass the turn. With any luck, we'll be able to hit either a white land or a second Terminus. Opponent fetches up a Temple Garden. Plays a Horizon Canopy. Gets in with Geist. Makes a token. Well, let's opt. Detention Sphere to the bottom. Draw Jace. Opponent hits us for 6. We go to 9. They exile the token. Passes turn. Oh, that might be too late. Well, all we can do is hope at this point. Opponent collected companies. And that's game. Well, we're 2-1. Moving on, round 4 of 5. All right, round 4, starting up. Geist is 6 power for 3 mana, and that's ridiculous. That's actually not ridiculous. What's ridiculous about it is it's hexproof. Ugh. Exactly. All right, round 4. Here we go. Tempting, but that's a little bit slow even for me. This one I think we can keep. Illumination to the bottom. Play Colonnade. F6. What the hell just happened? Opponent discards Street Wraith, Street Wraith, Street Wraith, Scalding Tarn, Looting, Phoenix, Phoenix. Holy Jesus! I was distracted by a very distracting thing to have missed that. Holy crap. Alright, well, opponent doesn't really have a follow-up, but neither do we. So, plays a Blood Crypt. Flashbacks a Looting. I'm gonna negate that out of sheer fear. Play Colonnade, pass turn. Opponent is down to 9 life. Plays a Bloodstained Mire. Fetches with Bloodstained Mire. Finds a... Is this Grixis Death Arclight? Goes to 6. Serum Visions. Oh, goodness. I don't know of any other 3 mana cost creature that has 6 power. Groundbreaker. Ball Lightning. What do you call it? There's a 3 mana 8/0 from Time Spiral. 3 mana creature that has 8 power. That's everything that comes to mind right now. Opponent plays a Death Shadow. Ball Lightning is more of a burn spell. It has the word creature on it. Opponent hits us for 16. We Miracle a Terminus. Whew! Man, is anyone else paying attention? This game's playing itself right now. Opponent's Serum Visions. Oh, what's happening? Loots faithlessly. I swear to God, if it goes Shadow, maximize velocity. What the fuck is this? Oh, I try not to swear on stream, but good God, our opponents hit all 4 Arclights, all 3 Street Wraiths, or 3 of 4 Street Wraiths, excuse me. Is anyone else seeing this? What's happening in this game right now? Oh, never mind. I thought they only cast 2 spells. Forgive me, I can't count. That game is over. Timely, rest in peace, rest in peace. Surgical, settle, and angels. Drop to fairy, drop a nimble, drop negate, drop a cryptic, and ancestral. Try it like this. Yeah, I would love to play first. Yeah, let's go for it. Play Colonnade. Pass the turn. Why, like, man, isn't this fun? Gonna do this now. Alright, now that we fired off that email, the worst part is we opted and had to throw a Terminus to the bottom. Alright, opponent Serum Visions. Oh, we don't need that. There's the looting. I don't think I can counter that. I'll just let it happen for now, I think. Also, welcome new viewers to the stream. I'm Kano, streaming... What the... How? I should have countered it. We're gonna get thought seized again and then just lose. Oh, never mind. Watch them dump 2 more Arclight Phoenixes. Just go the full 4 Arclight. Okay. At least it's not the legendary all 4 Arclight. Well, I think our only chance is to hit Terminus off this cycle. Path gets us a little closer. But, like, we don't get to, like, necessarily survive. Hit Gurmag Angler. Opponent hits us for 6. We go to 14. We Miracle Terminus, which makes me feel really bad about using the Path. Terminus the other ones to the bottom, but at least we have Logic Knot and Snap Path. And our opponent only has 6 life, so they're on a short clock. But this is by far one of the most ridiculous rounds of Magic I have ever played. What is happening? Alright, well I'm going to Snapcaster target Path. Just so we have a path this turn. Opponent can take Logic Knot or Terminus. Probably takes Logic Knot. They take Logic Knot. Here comes the Manamorphose train. Black-red. Ooh, Manamorphose number 2. Choo-choo. Black-red. Faithless? Or is the caboose here too? Faithless is always such a punch to the groin. Yeah, it's kind of like getting kicked in the dick. Oh. There's Gurmag. Do you have a Stubborn Denial too? You've only seen half your deck at this point. What the f... I'm cool. We're cool. Everybody here is chill. Just an untap land next turn, and we kill him with a Colonnade. That's all we gotta do. Just gotta get an untap land. The rage was real. But now I am zen. Opponent gets in for 5. Well, we're going to attack back for 2. And we're going to lay down the law with the biggest angel we have, Lyra. Opponent Serum Visions. Faithless Looting. Drops an Arclight Phoenix and a Young Pyromancer. Drops a Thought Scour and a Steam Vents. Plays a Death Shadow. Oh no! No! I fucked up! I meant to animate the Colonnade! We'll get in. Get in for 5. Lifelink. Terminus to stay alive. Oh no, the punts! The punts are real! I could have just killed my opponent! But I am tragically stupid. Oh no. Oh no. Please, opponent. please, I need you to... Oh, thank God. Oh, some mercy was wrought upon my soul. All right. Game 3. I swear to God, if our opponent dumps 2 Arclight Phoenixes into the grave for the 3rd game in a row on turn 1, I am going to destroy something on this desk. Because the statistical side of my brain cannot handle that anymore. If our opponent plays more than... Okay. Okay. We even get to keep one through a Thoughtseize. So maybe, just maybe, we get somewhere this time. Okay, it's not hand hate. And there's only one Arclight Phoenix. Okay, please, opponent, do not have a Manamorphose. Please do not have a Manamorphose. Opponent Thoughtseizes. Takes Snapcaster. Bloodstained Mire. Another Blood Crypt. Are they gonna get down? Are you joking me right now? They played a 5/5 on turn 2 before we could land a Rest in Peace to deal with it. Terminus off the top, or there is no God. Oh my God, it's a miracle. I believe in you. Thank you, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Oh my God. Is anybody witnessing this? Do we have this on camera? Holy shit! I went from atheist drunkard to devout Christian man in 2 seconds. Hallelujah. Oh my God. I think any other day I would burst into flames like Marilyn Manson at a church revival. Oh my God. Oh, watch us still lose. Oh, please. Please. Thank you, BK Classic, for bearing witness to my suffering and redemption. Oh, please. Oh, please. If you like this content, if you like my humor, if you too believe in miracles, follow the stream. Oh, God. Oh, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to fail to ruin the blue source. Something is compelling me to do this. They probably do not play Basic Island. My thoughts indeed. They do not. We play Colonnade. We'll lay down the second Rest in Peace just to be sure. To say rest in peace, opponent. And as long as we don't get Fatal Pushed, they're probably going to lose. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith. Here comes a Manamorphose. Oh, God. Just no Fatal Push and let me end the game in 2 turns, please. Get in for 4. It's okay, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Opponent cycled another Street Wraith. We're going to play a Flooded Strand, and on the wings of the Angels, hopefully win this game. Opponent would have to have another Lightning Axe. Fatal Push doesn't do it. Hallelujah! Not only that game was a fucking emotional roller coaster. Oh my God. I think that was worthy for a Sunday stream. Praise the Lord. Vodka and Mountain Dew communion. Oh my god. I kept keep. I pressed keep. I wasn't even paying attention. At this point I don't even know what to say anymore. I believe in Top Deck God. Whoo. Oh man. Born witness. Indeed, great Night Lord. Thank you for joining us on stream to have seen. Play a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Our opponent. What is our opponent playing? Faithless Looting. It's probably another Arclight Phoenix deck. Well, believe. We just gotta believe. Oh my god. Oh man. I'm still reeling. It's just the way that yeah, it's another Death Shadow deck. Jund Death Shadow. Traverse Death Shadow. Oh my god, seems good. Seems good opponent. Okay, I'm gonna have to finish this game up soon. They traversed what they traversed for. I'm sorry, everybody. Tarmogoyf. Alright, well, let's get a Hallowed Fountain tapped. Untap. Play a Field of Ruin. Maybe they don't run basic Forest for Goyf. Get an island. They have the basic Forest. Alright, well, we didn't really have any other way to interact at the moment. Opponent played a Mishra's Bauble. Opponent plays a Goyf. And it's a 5/6. Well, they draw a card. Opponent fetches with Bloodstained Mire. Probably gets a Steam Vents. Watergrave. Yep, they want to hold up the Stubborn Denial, I believe. Alright, we'll play an island. Pass the turn. Oh my gosh, if you too believe in Top Deck God, please follow the stream. When it goes to beginning of combat, we're going to let him get in for one hit here. If they play another creature threat, I'm going to counter and bounce to force Stubborn Denial. And hopefully between Negate and two Terminuses, we might actually be able to win this game. Alright, they don't. So we're going to have to bounce and draw. There's the denial. We knew they had it. We knew they were in denial. They were in denial of Top Deck God. Alright. Well, pass turn, hold up negate. Oh, I've played against this person recently. I recognize their username. Oh no, this person's like one of the highest number of trophy winners in this particular league. Like, yeah, we're gonna negate that Liliana. And hooray. When it plays a Verdant Catacombs, passes the turn. We draw Detention Sphere. Well, we're going to attempt a 6-mana answer to Goyf. Oh, works. I did not expect. We're holding 2 answers, so like, as long as they don't play a 10+ power Death Shadow with some kind of counter backup, we should be able to win. Opponent Thoughtseizes, goes to 4, Colonnade lethal range. If we can top deck Colonnade and like fire off this Terminus on a threat, we're probably going to win this game. Probably. Opponent traverses, picks up a shadow, plays a shadow, Colonnade. Yes, Top Deck God is real! Alright. It's happening! Oh my god, it's happening! No fatal push and we win the game! They gotta have push. There's no way they don't. Assassin's Trophy? Dismember? If it's Dismember, then at least Snapcaster's lethal at this point. I don't know what's happening. It's got to be Dismember, right? Yeah, they just pay for it. Full price. Full price Dismember is reasonable. I'm not even mad. Not at this point. Not after what's happened. We got what we wanted. Like, every time we've asked for it this league, we've gotten it. Top Deck God exists. It's been confirmed. Okay, opponent makes us discard a card. Picks up Death Shadow. Alright, we just need any answer. Oh my god, it's a miracle. Oh, it's real. It's real and it's happening. And you've seen it here first. No, no. Oh my god, it's happening still. It's happening. We do the Cryptic Command thing, right? At their upkeep? Yeah, we gotta do that. At their upkeep. Snap Cryptic Command. Cryptic Command. Bounce Shadow and draw. It's a land. Opponent replay Shadow? Domri oh, looting. Looting first. This is reasonable. This is reasonable. It's a good line of play. Replay Shadow. Well, we opt. We'll keep the opt. We'll opt again. Planes to the bottom. Well, play search. Hopefully Snapcaster can trump. We'll keep the land just in case we get K commanded at the draw step or something. Ooh, okay. Alright, they got us. They got us fair and square. Fair and square. Top Deck God will only get you so far. But his favor is true and righteous. I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Surgical, Nimble, Angels in, drop Teferi, drop Cryptic, Cryptic. Maybe we even go down the last Cryptic, drop a Hieroglyphic, negate, and let's not do both Angels, just the one's fine. Try like this. Try like this. Almost done. I don't have to call it quits after this league because my I'm toast after this. Oh man. I'd love to play first. Hey, this seems like a good hand. We will keep this hand. Start Hallowed Fountain, tapped, pass the turn. If our opponent's on a Delirium heavy hand, we might be able to rest in peace him out of the game. Opponent plays a Breeding Pool. We'll play an Island. Pass the turn. I think they got Stubborn Denial, so we'll wait. Just playing it safe, that's all. Gonna cracks Polluted Delta. We have Mono Paths, which is really good versus this deck. On an Inquisitions. Alright. Probably takes Rest in Peace. They do. Alright. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Opponent Inquisitions again. Sure. Probably takes a path at this point. They gotta be like, if they're running like Surgicals against us, I'm gonna be a little sad, a little bit disappointed, but whoo man. Takes a path. Plays Verdant Catacombs. Passes turn. Well, let's blow up the Breeding Pool. Pick up an Island. Play Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin, the Blood Crypt. Get a Plains. Pass the turn. Opponent Collective Brutality, Duress Mode. On the long game, picking our hand apart one by one. Takes our other path. Well, resolve a Jace. Brainstorm. Put back Colonnade Teferi. Pass the turn. Once again, top decks are good. Opponent Assassin's Trophy. We will not use its ability. We really, really, really want to draw this Teferi. Thought seizes us. Probably takes Oust. Takes Detention Sphere. We'll play Colonnade. Play Teferi. Plus Teferi, draw Colonnade. Opponent scoops it up. They don't have a threat to pressure us. Oh, jeez. Woo, game 3 of round 5. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. This hand seems pretty good. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith to start. Plays Verdant Catacombs, fetches, goes to 17, shocks to 15. Thought or Inquisition has to either take Path or Search. I think they take Path first if they have a second hand hate spell for Search. Take Search. Well, let's play Colonnade tapped. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Surgical Inquisition. They have Thoughtseize, Tarmogoyf, K-Command, Dismember, Death Shadow, Breeding Pool. So 2 threats, a kill spell, a hand hate spell, and a K-Command. Oh, I should have taken the one out of their grave. I did not. Opponent plays a Breeding Pool. Lands Goyf. We untap. We draw a Logic Knot. Well, path it now. Pass the turn. Opponent Thoughtseize. Well, let them take whatever they want here. Takes an opt. Plays a Death Shadow. As a 2/2. Well, we opt. Cryptic to the bottom, draw Path. Untap, draw to Fairy. Play an island. Path Death Shadow. Opponent gets a Forest. Well, we have a counterspell for whatever they're going to play. Opponent Faithless Looting. They do have Kolaghan's Command, which is a good thing to keep aware of here. It's a Death Shadow. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Counter Death Shadow. Ooh! It works. Detention Sphere. We'll keep that for discarding the Kolaghan's Command, I think. Because our opponent does have Assassin's Trophies. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith. Goes to 9. The good news is if they Kolaghan's Command now to make us discard and they return a Death Shadow, they don't have another black source. Ooh, no, they had it. Ooh, they were hiding it from us. Plays a Watery Grave. Plays a Shadow. Alright. Terminus off the top. Alright, we get one more turn, provided our opponent doesn't like cycle a Street Wraith into Tamer Battle Rage. Opponent flashbacks Looting. And they discard Land Dismember. Gets in for 7. Takes us to 11. 7-11. Plays Death Shadow number 2. Terminus? Oh, okay. Resolve to Fairy. Oh, no, we don't. And that's the game. Oh, jeez. Well, hey, we still won a treasure chest, and we still got 120 play points. Off of the virtue of some quite literal asked for miracles. I'm going to go ahead and open up these reward packs, kind of as like a thank you, as like an offering, I guess, to Top Deck God. We get a promo servo exhibition. But after this, I'm going to call it quits for the stream tonight. We get a Sterling Grove. That's a card I think that might need to be reprinted. I kind of like that card a lot. I think it seems fair to me. Fortune's Favor promo. Actually really like that. I think that might be Almaret on it. Or Azor. Unlicensed Disintegration. Unfortunately has just rotated out of Standard. Promo Sarah Avenger, worth a ton of money in paper, worth nothing online. And last but not least, a promo Vampiric Tutor. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. If you're still around and haven't yet, please follow the stream. It would mean a ton to me. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and have a good night, everybody. Bye.